Proportions. I can apply the relationship between ratios and equivalent fractions to solve various problems. I can use reasoning about multiplication and division to solve ratio and rate problems by setting up a proportion. So let's get what a ratio and a proportion are. A ratio, relationship between two quantities. Remember from yesterday, we can write it three ways. You can write it as a fraction with colons or the word 2, 3 to 2. A proportion then is two equal ratios. You know they're equal because they'll go up and down the same amount. For instance, how did I go from 3 to 12? I times by 4. So 2 times 4 is 8. So 2 to 3 is the same as 8 to 12. So we're going to solve proportions by using equal ratios. So you always start on the side that has both the numerator and the denominator. How did I go from 6 to 18? I times by 3. 5 times 3 is 15. So x is equal to 15. So the equal ratio is 5 to 6 is the same as 15 to 18. Because they went up or down the same amount, it's called proportional. So I start on the side that has both my numerator and denominator, and I ask myself, how did I go from 6 to 30? Divide by 5. I times by 5 to get 30. So 5 times 5 is 25. So start on the side that has both. From 3 to 21, I times 7. So 8 times 7 is 56. So go ahead and try this one. Okay, I have to start on the side that has both. So from 12 to 3, I divide by 4. So 16 divided by 4 is 4. 4 to 3 is the same proportion as 16 is to 12. Now, I have a couple others. Let's look at these. Start on the side that has both. How did I go from 55 to 20? Well, I didn't. There's nothing that works. So here's what I want you to write. If it doesn't go in, you must simplify first. So just like up here, this could have been simplified to 4 thirds. This one, it doesn't go in nice, so I simplify. 11 goes into 55 5, and 11 goes into 11 once. Now 5 to 20 times 4, and 1 times 4 is 4. So try this one. Does 13 to 4 go nice, ask yourself? The answer is no. So I need to divide. 13 divided by 13 is 1. 39 divided by 13 is 3. Now 1 times 4 gets me to 4. So 3 times 4 is 12. So 4 to 12 is the same as 13 to 39. So what happens when number 1, I find my proportion. 2, it doesn't go in, so I simplify. The third way is using decimals. So you will notice I check, how did I go from 4 to 14? It doesn't go nice. So I say, can I simplify 3/4? The answer is no. So then I must get out my calculator, and I know I'm going to multiply to go 4 times something to get me 18. So I have to do 18 divided by 4, and I get 4.5. So I have to times 3 by 4.5, and that gets me 13.5. So looking at the next one, starting on the side that has both, from 3 to 11, they don't play nice. I know I'm going to multiply 3 times something to get 11, so to do that I have to divide. And this one's a little tricky because what I end up getting is 3.6 repeating. So I now need to times this by 3.6 repeating. When I put that in my calculator, don't round it, because if you do, you will get a different answer. You literally have to type in 2 times 3 points until you run out of room on your calculator. And when you do that, you're going to end up with 7.3 repeating. And you can have a repeating in a decimal and a proportion because it's not a fraction. So let's look at the bottom one here. If I can get down there. Okay, we have I can't go from 11 to 4 nice, so I need to say 11 divided by 4 gets me, so I still need to divide, and I get 1.6 repeating. So I need to put in my calculator 12 divided by 1.666 and keep it repeating until you run out of room. And you get 7.2. So 11 to 12 is the same as 4 to 7.2. So in the real world, how these are used. Is there are red and blue marbles in a bag? If the ratio of marbles is 2 to 3, which is red to blue. If you have 24 blue marbles, how many are red? So you have there are red and blue in the bag. So you have a 2 to 3, which is red to blue. You have 24 blue marbles. How many are red? So my advice is to label first, like red to red, blue to blue, and then you know how many you have. And you will notice, once I do that, I've actually done this wrong, because there's 2 to 3, and this is telling me how many blue. Oh, I did do it right, because it matches. So 3 times 8 is 24. 2 times 8 is 16 red. So how many red marbles are there? 16. These labels are so important to double check yourself that you've lined up your correct labels. So you have a couple problems to do.